Hey, Ruby. Hey. So this is Ruby. She's a 10, 11-month-old GSP I'm working with. We're doing a number of lessons, but force fetch is one of them. And she's a very, very soft dog, and she does respond well. But the force fetch, she has been a little stubborn on. So this table is nothing fancy. I just, a lot of people put like a cable from, post up on one end and post on the other, and then attach a cable across, and and then they can secure the dog from up above. I haven't done that, but I just simply screwed a board on here, and I mean this works fine for me. Hey, Ruby. Now, some people train with treats, some don't. To me, a dog that, especially a young one, is usually pretty food biddable, and so working with treats can not only entice them to comply a little easier, but it can also just make it a more positive experience for them, and that's really what you want. You want this to be a positive thing. You don't want them to dread their training sessions, and some dogs just respond to affection, and but I think use whatever tools are at your disposal, as long as you don't confuse the dog as far as methods go. So when I say use the tools at your disposal, I'm not necessarily referring to mixing up a bunch of different methods, but rather whatever you can use to get your method accomplished. I think go ahead and do it. So tools in this case being treats, affection, use them both. So anyway, what I like to start out doing is, and I'm holding the phone here, so I'll try to demonstrate as best I can just with this one hand. But basically, get yourself a fresh leather glove that does, just buy a pair. They're 15, 20 bucks or something at feed stores, Tractor Supply, maybe even lumber yards or whatever. Depending on the size of your dog's mouth, usually just these first two fingers, you can put them, Ruby, fetch, good girl, put them in the dog's mouth, and you can hook behind these canines on the bottom, and you can kind of grip the jaw. Good, Ruby, good girl. Give, good girl. As soon as she quit struggling, I rewarded her. But basically, she can't spit this out because you're controlling it. Now, I have been working with her a little while already, so Ruby, fetch, but we haven't been working with the glove. I started straight with bumpers with her, just because I couldn't find my glove anyway, and I wasn't able to find them at the store, so I started with bumpers. But I went and bought a pair of gloves today. I was able to find them. Stuff has just been hard to find just because of this Corona deal this year. So anyway, but I was able to find a pair today, so I bought some. But good girl, and she willingly went for it that time. Good fetch, good fetch. Now, she doesn't like the fact I'm gripping it. Good girl. Give. Good, Ruby. Good girl. But we've worked with the bumpers and made progress. Now, there's a couple of thoughts on bribing a dog. One is don't give the dog a choice. You know, so like, let's say the dog is, you know, out here retrieving something, and you're trying to entice the dog to come. The dog's trying to make up its mind, and you hold, you know, treats up and show it, and you want a treat, you want a treat. A gentleman I really respect, you know, some years back told me, he said, don't do that. You're giving the dog the option. They may comply, but they may decide they don't want a treat that day. They'd rather take your bird. So I'm not giving her the choice, but I'm just enticing her. I'm not bribing her. I'm just kind of helping her see that there's incentive in what she's doing right now. But I'm not giving her a choice because I've got her restrained. I'm going to put this in her mouth. She's not deciding whether she wants to do it or not. So, you know, it's a little different than a dog that, you know, you're trusting to be off leash in the field. So, young dog, food biddable. I've got her restrained. She's not getting a choice. She is going to grab these 2 fingers. And I just keep this visible in front of her just because it kind of helps incentivize, and just there's just this positive element to it. So, but I think what's going to help you out is, you know, get you a pair of leather gloves. Use these 2 fingers. Ruby, fetch. See if she'll grab it. Ruby, fetch. Good girl. She's very soft mouth. I mean, super soft mouth. Good girl. Hold. Hold, Ruby. And we've started working on holding objects for longer periods of time as well. Hold. Let's see, she's trying to let go, but I'm not letting her. Now, initially when we started doing these lessons, I mean, she would really fight and, you know, try to, you know, do whatever she could to get the bumper out of her mouth. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. But she can't let this go. My fingers are hooked behind those lower canines. And I've, you know, got my thumb under her jaw as well. She's watching birds fly right now. Good girl. Hold. Hold, Ruby. Hold. 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 Good. Good. Good girl. Give. Good girl. Good girl, Miss Ruby. Good dog. You're such a good dog. You're a sweet dog. But I think doing this is going to help teach them to hold, because the more they fight it, you know, just the more you hold on. Just make sure whatever you're putting in the dog's mouth, you don't catch their lips between the object and their teeth. Sometimes their lips will wrap around their teeth, and that makes it for an unpleasant experience. Now the ear pinch, good girl. See, she gripped this on her own. No, hold. Good girl. And I'm not gripping her at all on the bottom. I just have my fingers in there. She has a firm yet gentle hold. Good girl. Give. Good, Ruby. Good girl. So I'm getting away from the ear pinch already, because more and more she's picking up bumpers when I'm telling her to. Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. Good girl. So, you know, let's say she was to try and spit it out. Well, I'd have my other hand in her ear, and there's an earlobe right. I don't know if you can see it right there. It's kind of a soft, fleshy thing. But when you get to the ear pinch, and you know you've got them used to, you know, having something in their mouth, they're comfortable at this stage, and it's time to start putting pressure and making them grab objects. You know, that's really a whole nother lesson. And I've got a list of some video links that I can send to you that may be helpful with that. But for right now, just get the dog used to having your fingers in his mouth. And the gloves, there's a couple of reasons for the gloves. One, the leather has a taste they like. Two, a puppy has sharp teeth, and it'll keep you from getting too hurt in the process when a dog's fighting you. Ruby, hold, hold, hold. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl, Ruby. Give. Good girl, Rube. Good.